Hi everyone! Welcome dito sa isa na namang bagong discussion sa income taxation. And I'm giving full credit kay Sir Rex B. Bangkawan, CPA, MBA para sa kanyang aklat na income taxation, laws, principles, and applications. Yung discussions ko dito is based dun sa aklat ni Sir Rex. Now, sa video ito, ang pag-uusapan natin ay ang compensation income. So, basically, ang compensation income, ito yung income earned by the employee in consideration of the service that he or she provided dun kay employer. So, merong employee-employer relationship. So, si employee, nagtatrabaho kay employer. And in return, si employer magbabayad ng sahod, magbabayad ng sweldo dun kay employee. So, yung sahod or yung sweldo, that is what we call as compensation income. However, I would like you to take note na yung mga consultants, yung mga director na walang management function, yung mga talents or mga artists na nakikita natin sa TV shows or naririnig natin sa mga radio broadcast, hindi sila considered as employees. And dahil hindi sila considered as employees, so yung binabayad sa kanila, hindi natin pwedeng tawaging compensation income on their part. Ang tawag doon ay business or professional income. Uulitin ko ha, yung bayad na natatanggap ng mga consultants, ng mga directors without management function, yung mga natatanggap na bayad ng talents, kaya artist ng TV show or radio broadcast, ang tawag doon ay business income or professional income on their part. So, hindi natin pwedeng tawaging compensation income nila yun kasi they are not considered as employees. Merong dalawang uri ng empleyado as to taxability. We have minimum wage earners and regular employees. Yung mga minimum wage earners, sila yung mga empleyado na nakakatanggap lang ng minimum wage. So, yung sahod na yun, or yung compensation na yun is exempt from the income tax. Yung regular employees naman, on the other hand, sila yung mga empleyado na subject sa regular progressive income tax. So we have here a much more specific definition of the minimum wage earner. Sabi dito, yung minimum wage earner refers to a worker in the private sector who is paid the minimum wage, or it could be an employee in the public sector with compensation income of not more than the statutory minimum wage, those with salary grade 1 to 3 in the non-agricultural sector or he or she is assigned. The statutory minimum wage na tinutukoy din dito is the higher between the rate fixed by the Regional Tripartite Wage and Productivity Board of the Department of Labor and Employment and the 5,000 pesos per month, or that's equivalent to 60,000 pesos per year. Again ha, yung statutory minimum wage na tinutukoy dito is the higher between the rate fixed by the Regional Tripartite Wage and Productivity Board of the Department of Labor and Employment and the 5,000 pesos per month, or that's equivalent to 60,000 pesos per year. Now, here's the tax model on the compensation income. So we have gross compensation income less the non-taxable compensation income. So the balance or the difference is known as the taxable compensation income. The gross compensation income includes all remunerations, lahat ng sahod, lahat ng benefits received under an employer-employee relationship. Yung non-taxable compensation naman, on the other hand, includes the mandatory deductions and the exempt benefits. The mandatory deductions includes employees' mandatory contributions to GSIS, SSS, PhilHealth, HDMF or the Home Development Mutual Fund or the Pag-ibig, and the union dues. The exempt benefits naman, on the other hand, are those benefits excluded and or exempted under the NARC and special laws, benefits exempt under treaty or international agreements, benefits necessary to the trade or business or conduct of profession of the employer. Also, it includes benefits for the convenience or advantage of the employer. I believe there is no need na i-elaborate pa natin itong mandatory deductions because it is clearly stated here kung ano yung mga inclusions dito sa mandatory deductions. So, dito tayo sa exempt benefits. So, we'll have the first one, benefits excluded or the exempt benefits under the NIRC as amended and the special laws. So this includes remuneration received as incidents of employment. Kasali dito ang mga exempt retirement benefits under Republic Act 7641, including the exempt retirement gratuities to government officials and employees, exempt termination benefits, benefits from the United States Veterans Administration, Social Security, retirement gratuities, pensions, and similar benefits from foreign government agencies and other institutions, private or public. This also includes benefits from SSS under the SSS Act of 1954 as amended, and also benefits from GSAS under GSAS Act of 1937 as amended. So by the way, class, these items were already discussed sa previous chapter, no, when we were discussing the exclusions from the gross income. So hindi ko na uulitin yung discussion dito, ha. If you want to hear the detailed discussion of these items, you may visit the income taxation playlist in this channel and then look for the exclusions from the gross income na topic. Okay? Now, aside from the remuneration received as incidents of employment, meron pa tayong ibang exempt benefits under the NIRC as amended and special law. So we have the Minimis benefits, 13th month pay, and other benefits not exceeding 90,000 pesos. And we have certain benefits of minimum wage earners. Now, pag-usapan natin itong de minimis benefits. So, ito ay mga facilities o kaya privileges just like entertainment, medical services, o kaya courtesy discounts on purchases that are of relatively small value, and this is provided by the employer. The purpose of this is to promote the health, the goodwill, the contentment, or the efficiency of his employees. So these de minimis benefits are considered as petty fringe benefits, and these are exempt from the income tax. The Bureau of Internal Revenue and the Department of Finance had formulated this rule wherein it specified in there what are those benefits that are considered as de minimis. So we have here the list. Number 1, monetized and used vacation leave credits of private employees not exceeding 10 days during the year. 2, monetized and used vacation and sick leave credits paid to government officials and employees. 3, medical cash allowance to dependents of employees not exceeding 1,500 pesos per employee per semester, or that's equivalent to 375 pesos per month. 4, rice subsidy not exceeding 2,000 pesos or 1 sack of 50 kilogram rice per month amounting to not more than 2,000 pesos. 5, uniform and clothing allowance not exceeding 6,000 pesos per annum. 6, actual medical assistance like medical allowance to cover medical or executive checkup, maternity assistance, and routine consultations not exceeding 10,000 pesos per annum. 7, laundry allowance not exceeding 300 pesos per month. Number 8, employee achievement award like for the length of service or safety achievement, which must be in the form of tangible property other than cash, or gift certificates with an annual monetary value not exceeding 10,000 pesos received by the employee under an established written plan which does not discriminate in favor of highly paid employees. 9, gifts given during Christmas and major anniversary celebrations not exceeding 5,000 pesos per employee per annum. 10, daily meal allowance for overtime work and night or graveyard shift not exceeding 25% of the basic minimum wage on a per region basis. And then lastly, number 11, benefits received by an employee by virtue of collective bargaining agreement or CBA and productivity incentive schemes provided that the total annual monetary value received from both CBA and productivity incentive schemes combined do not exceed 10,000 pesos per employee per taxable year. So take note that only CBA benefits and productivity incentives amounting to 10,000 pesos or less is considered as de minimis benefits. So, ayan klase yung 11 de minimis benefits na kailangan nyo talagang tandaan. So, pay attention to each of this de minimis benefit. Tapos, pay attention with the ceiling amount. Kasi each de minimis benefit. Alright, now pag-usapan natin itong taxable de minimis benefits. So, if you guys can still recall, kanina nabanggit ko na yung de minimis benefits, they are petty French benefits that are exempt from the income tax. Okay, so that is in general. So, in general, de minimis benefits are petty French benefits that are exempt from the income tax. However, we have exceptions to that. So, ito yun. So number 1, excess de minimis over the regulatory limits are considered as taxable de minimis benefits. So kanina when I read the 11 items that are considered as de minimis benefits, kung napansin niyo, merong mga ceiling amounts doon. Merong mga limits. So yung excess na de minimis benefits over their limits, over their ceiling amounts, are taxable. Okay? Taxable de minimis benefits na yon kapag excess na siya from the limit, excess na siya from the ceiling amount. The second exemption is that yung mga ibang benefits that are relatively small value na wala sa listahan, they are considered as taxable de minimis benefits. Now the question is, how are we going to treat this taxable de minimis benefits? So we have here, for rank and file employees, yung taxable de minimis benefits is going to be treated as other compensation income under the category 13th month pay and other benefits. While for managerial and supervisory employees, yung taxable de minimis benefits is going to be treated as a French benefit subject to the final French benefit tax. Alright, we have here some examples on how to determine the excess de minimis benefits. So we have the first illustration. Alexander, a private employee who is paid a 600 pesos daily rate, receives the following benefits during the year 2019. So we have monetized unused vacation leave credits, 9 days, monetized unused sick leave credits, 9 days, medical assistance, 7,000 pesos, rice subsidy, 2,500 pesos per month. So that is equivalent to 30,000 pesos in a year. And then we have clothing allowance, 9,000 pesos, and then laundry allowance, 6,000 pesos. So the requirement is to determine the taxable amount of de minimis benefits. So as a review, ano nga yung taxable de minimis benefits? Yun yung mga excess de minimis over the regulatory limits or over the ceiling amounts. And then, pangalawa, yung mga benefits na wala sa listahan. Okay? Now, isa-isahin natin etong mga de minimis benefits na natanggap ni Alexander. So, first one, we have monetized unused vacation leave credits. Alright, tingnan natin yung listahan ng mga de minimis benefits. So for monetized unused vacation leave credits of private employees, yung exempt from the income tax is up to 10 days only during the year. So that is equivalent to 6,000 pesos in this case. So 10 days multiplied by the daily rate, which is 600 pesos. So that is equal to 6,000 pesos. So yun lang yung limit. So up to 6,000 pesos lang yung exempt from the income tax. So we have here the solution. So for monetized and used vacation leave credits, the actual amount of unused vacation leave credits monetized is 5,400 pesos. So that is 9 days multiplied by 600 pesos daily rate. So that is 5,400 pesos. And then as I said, yung limit for this category is 6,000 pesos. So walang excess kasi mas malaki yung limit kaysa actual. So walang excess. So therefore, the whole amount of 5,400 pesos is exempt from the income tax. Okay, proceed tayo sa pangalawang item. We have monetize unused sick leave credits of Alexander, 9 days. Okay. So, dun sa listahan ng mga de minimis benefits, walang provision dun para sa mga monetize unused sick leave credits ng private employees. Ang meron dun is monetize vacation leave credits and sick leave credits para sa government officials and employees. So, ano ba yung rule sa ganitong kaso? 'Di ba? Ang sabi ko kanina, pag wala sa listahan ng de minimis benefit, ibig sabihin yung benefit na yon ay taxable. So, with that being said, yung monetize and use sick leave credits ng private employees is taxable. So, dito sa table, sa solution natin, for monetize and use sick leave credits, yung actual amount is 5,400 pesos. So, that is 9 days multiplied by the 600 pesos daily rate. So, yun, 5,400 pesos. For the limit, we have 0. Kasi, as I said, wala to sa listahan. So, ibig sabihin, buong amount ng monetize and use sick leave credits is going to be taxable. So, we have here, yung excess, 5,400 pesos. So, itong excess column dito, class, ito ay taxable de minimis benefits, okay? So, uulitin ko, yung actual monetized and used sick leave credits ni Alexander is 5,400. However, kasi wala to sa listahan ng mga de minimis benefits that is exempt from the income tax, ibig sabihin, itong buong amount na 5,400 pesos is going to be taxable. So, that's why yung 5,400 pesos natin ay finorward natin dito sa excess column. Kasi itong excess column, this is taxable de minimis benefit. Okay? Okay, let's move to the third item. We have medical assistance, 7,000 pesos. So, tingnan natin sa listahan ng de minimis benefit. So, ang sabi dito, for actual medical assistance like medical allowance to cover medical or executive check-up, maternity assistance, and routine consultations not exceeding 10,000 pesos per annum or per year, yun ay exempt from the income tax. So, klaruhin natin ha, yung limit is 10,000 pesos. So, yung medical assistance up to 10,000 pesos is exempt from the income tax. Now, question, magkano ba yung medical assistance ni Alexander dito? It's only 7,000 pesos. And the 7,000 pesos is exempt from the income tax. Okay? So, that's why wala tayong excess. So, wala tayong taxable de minimis benefit for medical assistance. Now, let's move to the rice subsidy. So, yung rice subsidy ni Alexander, yung binigay sa kanya is 2,500 pesos per month. So, that is equivalent to 30,000 pesos in 1 year. So, tingnan natin yung listahan ng de minimis benefit. So, sabi dito, rice subsidy not exceeding 2,000 pesos or 1 sack of 50 kilogram rice per month amounting to not more than 2,000 pesos. So, yun lang yung exempt from the income tax. Yung ceiling natin or yung limit natin is 2,000 pesos. So, 2,000 pesos multiplied by 12 months kasi sa isang buong taon, meron tayong 12 buwan. So, 2,000 times 12 months, that is equal to 24,000 pesos. So, yun yung limit ng rice allowance. So, meaning to say, for rice allowance or rice subsidy up to 24,000 pesos is exempt from the income tax. Pero kapag sobra sa 24,000 pesos, yung sobra or yung excess is going to be taxable. So we have here for Alexander, yung actual rice subsidy niya ay 30,000 pesos. Tapos yung exempt lang from the income tax is 24,000 pesos kasi yun lang yung limit. So we have 30,000 minus 24,000 pesos. So merong excess na 6,000 pesos. And this 6,000 pesos is taxable. Okay, next we have clothing allowance, 9,000 pesos. So, sabi sa listahan ng de minimis benefits, uniform and clothing allowance not exceeding 6,000 pesos per annum lang yung exempt from the income tax. So, yung limit or yung ceiling is 6,000 pesos. So, yung clothing allowance up to 6,000 pesos, yun lang yung exempt from the income tax. Pero pag sobra sa 6,000 pesos, yung sobra is going to be taxable. So, magkano nga uli yung actual clothing allowance ni Alexander? We have 9,000 pesos. Tapos yung limit is only 6,000. So, merong excess na 3,000 pesos. So, that is 9,000 minus 6,000. That is equal to 3,000 pesos. Yun ang excess. And that excess is taxable. Now, we have the last item, laundry allowance, 6,000 pesos. So, sabi sa listahan, laundry allowance not exceeding 300 pesos per month lang yung exempt from the income tax. So, 300 pesos per month, magkano ba yan in 1 year? We have 300 times 12 months, that is 3,600 pesos. So, yung limit or ceiling amount ng laundry allowance is 3,600 pesos. So, up to that amount lang yung exempt from the income tax. Yung sobra is going to be taxable. So, tingnan natin dito. Yung actual laundry allowance ni Alexander is 6,000 pesos. Tapos, yung limit lang is 3,600 pesos. So, up to 3,600 pesos lang yung exempt from the income tax. So, magkano yung excess? 6,000 minus 3,600 pesos. So, that is equal to 2,400 pesos. So, itong 2,400 pesos, ito ay taxable. Okay. Now, ano yung required natin dito? Yung hinihingi is how much is the taxable amount of de minimis benefits. Yung taxable amount ng de minimis benefits. So, ang gagawin lang natin dito is ito-total natin itong excess column. So, we have 5,400 plus 6,000 plus 3,000 plus 2,400. So, yung taxable de minimis as other benefits here is 16,000 pesos. 16,800 pesos. Another illustration. So, this time, government employee. So, si Giovanni, isa siyang government rank and file employee, and he received the following benefits. Monetized unused vacation leave credits, 10 days, which is equivalent to 6,000 pesos. Monetized unused sick leave credits, 15 days, that is equivalent to 9,000 pesos. Uniform allowance, 5,000 pesos. And then laundry allowance, 4,800 pesos. Our task here is to determine the amount to be included in taxable de minimis as other benefits. Alright, we'll start with the first two items. We have monetized unused vacation leave credits of 10 days, that is equivalent to 6,000 pesos. And then we have monetized unused sick leave credits of 15 days, that is equivalent to 9,000 pesos. Take note class na Giovanni here is a government employee, and sabi dun sa listahan ng de minimis benefits, yung monetized unused vacation and sick leave credits paid to government officials and employees are exempt from the income tax. So, ibig sabihin, itong actual monetized unused vacation leave credits na 6,000 pesos at itong monetized unused sick leave credits na 9,000 pesos, etong dalawang to ay exempt from the income tax. So, we have here this table showing the computation of the taxable de minimis as other benefits. So, we have the actual column, ito yung actual amount received by Giovanni. Ito namang limit, ito yung ceiling amount in each given de minimis benefit. Tapos, itong excess, this is computed by subtracting limit from the actual amount. So, actual minus the limit, that is the excess. And that excess is taxable. Ito yung taxable de minimis as other benefits. Here, the actual monetized unused vacation leave credits of Giovanni is 6,000 pesos. Tapos, yung kanyang actual monetized unused sick leave credits naman ay 9,000 pesos. Now, remember na kapag yung pinag-uusapan natin ay monetized unused vacation and sick leave credits paid to government officials and employees, just like Giovanni here in this illustration, exempt yun from the income tax regardless of the amount. Okay? So that means etong 6,000 pesos monetized unused vacation leave credits and 9,000 pesos monetized unused sick leave credits ni Giovanni, ang buong amount nito ay exempt from the income tax. So as you can see, wala tayong excess. Zero yung excess natin. Ibig sabihin, walang taxable portion kasi the entire amount is exempt from the income tax. Okay, let's proceed to the next item. So we have uniform allowance. So, yung actual uniform allowance na natanggap ni Giovanni ay 5,000 pesos. Now, tingnan natin sa listahan ng de minimis benefits. So, sabi dito, yung uniform and clothing allowance not exceeding 6,000 pesos per annum is exempt from the income tax. So, ang maximum amount or yung limit or yung ceiling ay 6,000 pesos. So, ibig sabihin, uniform and clothing allowance up to 6,000 pesos is exempt from the income tax. Kapag sobra sa 6,000, yung sobra is going to be taxable. Okay? So, sa case ni Giovanni class, yung kanyang actual uniform allowance na natanggap is only 5,000 pesos. And then, yung limit again is 6,000 pesos. So, therefore, walang excess. So, the entire amount of 5,000 pesos is exempt from the income tax. Next, we have laundry allowance. So, yung actual laundry allowance na natanggap ni Giovanni is 4,800 pesos in a year. So, sabi dito sa listahan ng de minimis benefits, yung laundry allowance not exceeding 300 pesos per month lang yung exempt from the income tax. So, magkano ba yun? 300 pesos per month times 12 months kasi meron tayong 12 buwan sa isang taon. So, yung limit niyan is 3,600 pesos. So, that means laundry allowance up to 3,600 pesos is exempt from the income tax. Yung sobra is going to be taxable. Okay, so eyes on the table. So for laundry allowance, yung actual amount received by Giovanni is 4,800 pesos. And yung limit or yung ceiling lang for laundry allowance is 3,600 pesos. So again, up to 3,600 pesos laundry allowance lang yung exempt from the income tax. So yung excess is going to be taxable. So magkano ba yung excess? So that's 4,800 minus 3,600 pesos. So that is equal to 1,200 pesos. So, yung tanong natin dito, 'di ba, is to determine how much is the taxable de minimis as other benefits. So, we have it here. So, meron lang tayong 1,200 pesos galing sa laundry allowance. So, that's the answer, 1,200 pesos. Alright, we have another illustration here. Professor Radvik was one of the Hall of Fame awardees of UB University. He was granted with 25,000 pesos cash as loyalty award for his 30 years of service. He was also given 10,000 pesos Christmas gift and an additional 10,000 pesos gift during the institution's founding day anniversary. Besides, he was also given free lunch meals with a total value of 15,000 pesos during the same year. The requirement, we have to compute for the total taxable de minimis benefits as other benefits. Alright, let's tackle first etong loyalty award na natanggap ni Professor Radvik. So, the amount was 25,000 pesos and that is cash. Okay, so tingnan natin yung relevant na de minimis dito. Okay, we have here. employee achievement award like length of service or safety achievement, which must be in the form of tangible property other than cash or gift certificates with an annual monetary value not exceeding 10,000 pesos received by the employee under an established written plan, which does not discriminate in favor of highly paid employees. So, dito pasok yung loyalty award ni Professor Radvick kasi itong Employee Achievement Award, this includes the award related to the length of service. However, ang sabi kasi dito or ang tinutukoy na award kasi dito ay tangible property other than cash or gift certificates. So, tangible property, hindi pwedeng cash or gift certificates. Tapos, yung limit is 10,000 pesos. So, kapag yung natanggap na Employee Achievement Award ay tangible property up to 10,000 pesos, exempt yun from the income tax. Pero ang tanong, ano ba yung natanggap ni Professor Radvick na Loyalty Award? 25,000 pesos cash. Tapos again, yung Employee Achievement Award na exempt from the income tax ay dapat isang tangible property other than cash or gift certificates. Tapos yung kanyang annual monetary value does not exceed 10,000 pesos. So, ibig sabihin, kasi ang natanggap ni Professor Radvick ay cash, hindi ito covered dito sa de minimis benefit na ito. So, ano yung rule kapag wala sa listahan? Ibig sabihin, that benefit is taxable. So, that means the entire amount of 25,000 pesos loyalty or service award is going to be taxable. Here is the table showing the computation for the taxable de minimis benefits as other benefits. So, as you can see, for loyalty or service award, so yung entire amount, the 25,000 pesos na natanggap ni Professor Radvick is going to be taxable. That's why andyan siya sa excess column. Again, yung excess column, ito yung taxable de minimis as other benefits. Now, let's proceed. So, aside from the loyalty award, nakatanggap si Professor Radvick ng 10,000 pesos Christmas gift, tapos additional 10,000 pesos gift during institution's founding day anniversary. So, all in all, that is 20,000 pesos. So, tingnan natin sa listahan ng de minimis benefits. So, sabi dito kapag ang pinag-uusapan ay gifts, which are given during Christmas and major anniversary celebrations. So, yung exempt lang is up to 5,000 pesos per employee per annum. So, again, magkano yung actual na natanggap ni Professor Radvick as Christmas gift and anniversary celebration gift? 20,000 pesos. So, magkano lang yung limit, yung ceiling amount? 5,000 pesos. So, ang exempt lang ay up to 5,000 pesos. So, magkano yung taxable? 15,000 pesos. That is 20,000 minus 5,000 pesos. Another benefit received by Professor Radvick is etong free lunch meals niya with a total value of 15,000 pesos during the same year. Okay, so, tingnan natin sa listahan ng mga de minimis benefits kung meron bang applicable para dito. So, close to this is this one, etong daily meal allowance. Pero this daily meal allowance is intended for overtime work and night or graveyard shift not exceeding 25% of the basic minimum wage on a per region basis. So, yun lang yung exempt from the income tax. So, take note na yung meal allowance ni Professor Radvick is for lunch meal. So, clearly, hindi ito overtime work. Hindi rin to graveyard shift. So, therefore, etong entire amount of 15,000 pesos is going to be taxable. Ayan. So again, the requirement here is to compute for the total taxable de minimis benefits as other benefits. So ang gagawin lang natin is to total the excess column. So itong nasa excess column, ito yung mga taxable de minimis. So we have 25,000 plus 15,000 plus another 15,000. So the total taxable de minimis benefit is 55,000 pesos. Alright, we have a reminder here. So take note guys that if the employee is a managerial or supervisory employee, yung entire excess de minimis is going to be treated as French benefits and that will be subject to French benefit tax. Again, yun if yung employee is a managerial or a supervisory employee. So yung excess de minimis is going to be treated as French benefit and it will be subject to French benefit tax. However, if the employee is a rank and file, yung taxable de minimis is going to be treated as other compensation income under the category 13th month pay and other benefits. And this will be discussed further later on. Another reminder here is for the commutation of accumulated leave credits. So yung terminal leave pay or the commutation of unused leave credits due to involuntary separation from the employment of the employee is now treated as de minimis benefits subject to the 10-day leave credit limit and is no longer exempt as part of the exempt termination benefits.